Welcome to join us on your live this beautiful evening. It's always wonderful to be here, and above everything, we're discussing something that touches me. Maybe because I'm a woman, maybe because I support women and try to get initiatives and empowerment programs so that we enhance every woman to get to the apex of her career, get to her best. Maybe that is why it's always exciting to discuss the female issues. Today we are talking about breaking barriers, talking women in leadership positions. What are those challenges that keep them down? What are the strategies we must at this moment adopt so that these women can indeed blossom and be that value to society? That's what we'll be discussing. In the studio right here is a beautiful and wonderful woman who has been doing so much in that space as well. She has gone through her own story, one that she would share here to inspire young women here today, and also tell us what she has been doing to ensure the Nigerian women know who they are, know their worth, and know that they can attain whatever they put their mind to. So again, I welcome you to the show. We have Ambassador Dr. Unyime-Ivy King. She is versatile. She's a versatile individual with extensive experiences, but above everything, she holds a certification in women leadership, and also I was surprised to read this, mental health and addiction therapist. There's so much to you. So welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here as well. And we have, of course, our own regular who, by the way, is doing the camera work when Dr. Kings Oshifade Kayode is the founder and convener of Holy Kings Impact Foundation. He's a regular here on the show, and we've been doing a lot of talking, especially around the women folk. He is one of the he for she's I have ever met, always there for the women. He will get to tell us again why he is so concerned about the Nigerian woman, but I'm happy to have two kings in the house. Dr. Ivy Kings and Oshifade Kings. Thank you for being part of the program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
At this point, we'll just go for a very quick break. When we return, we'll get to the crux of the matter. How can women break barriers and get to leadership positions? We'll be right back. Welcome back from that short break. Well, like I had mentioned in the introduction, women in leadership. That brings us to what is going on, the story on everybody's lips. That is the presidential elections that was just conducted in the United States of America. A woman emerged, but again did not make it. That is after some women who had been advocating for a woman president in America would say they were only just trying to survive and keep hope alive after Hillary Clinton had tried a couple of years back. But let's come back to Nigeria. First of all, when you look at the country, look at the instances, the political terrain, the societal biases and cultural problems, what do you think is the reason why women have been having struggle rather to attain, not just in politics, in other aspects of life, that leadership position?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a billion-naira question because we have very few women at the highest level of representation in the country, and I think women have a lot of challenges that they have to contend with, and some of it has to do with the gender biases that we have. You know, there's this thinking that some certain positions are the exclusive preserve of the men and women should not venture into that. And even when she ventures, she's faced with a lot of challenges. She has to work twice as hard to be able to prove herself. And then the challenge of the work and life balance, because apart from being a woman leader in the space externally, she also has things to contend with at home. She has children she's taking care of, and more or less people believe that the welfare of the home and the well-being of the home is dedicated to the woman alone. So she has to deal with that. She has to be a woman, a leader at work, and she has to also ensure that the home front is okay. So there are a lot of this, and of course some women also have this sense of imposter syndrome. They feel they feel that
drawn to. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they're in a space that they don't really feel they deserve it. They don't really feel they should be here. So there are so many things contending against women. And of course, if you look into the families, the way women have been raised and socialized, is very few homes that the parents understand that even if this is a girl child, I should not limit her. Because you have homes where if they want to buy, for instance, toys, they will buy dolls for the girls and then buy maybe engineering toolkits for the boys and all of that. So that stereotyping begins from the home. But in homes where the girls have been socialized and trained to believe that they can be anything they want to be, then they know they don't have any restrictions. So we have all these, working against women, and then we often hear that women do not support each other and all of that, but
we'll get to that conversation of whether or not women support each other. But let me get to Dr. King right here. What's your thought when you look at the Nigerian terrain, our cultural and religious and even political beliefs and biases? What do you think, in your words, is keeping the woman down?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. My name once again is Dr. King Zoshifadika, the team lead, Olikis Impact Foundation. I think this question is so timely to what is happening at the moment. I tell people women are the most important tool on earth, and they should be taking space in all ramification. And the good thing is that it's changing already. The story is changing. The way it used to be before, we believe that women are limited to kitchen. Today I went for a program today, and I'm so impressed with what I saw, the way women are sharing their story, their school of thought, they are speaking, they are speaking with audacity, speaking with a brave mindset, not the way it used to be before. And I think this is what we should be doing at this critical stage, because I tell people, we like it or not, we need women to lead us. Yes. We need women to. I'm not saying this because I'm an advocate of women affairs, but it's only a fool that does things the same way still wants different results. This is the time we should do. Let's try something else. And I think women are when it comes to great space, they are really trying. Look at Zenith Bank. I'm sorry, I'm not doing advert, but that's a reality.
And I will soon start charging them.
Okay, you understand? We have women taking that space. Look at Transcom Hilton. Women is the one managing that space. So if women can do better in the private sector, why not bring them into public sector, not limiting them in? Because I tell you, women, when it comes to administrative, women are the best. And I tell you, we have no choice. We need to put them in that little. I'm expecting the female president in Nigeria. And you said something, but let's not go there. Let me just go with your question.
Okay, if it's something I say that you're responding to, it's allowed. But let's go back to what you just said. It's time for women to lead. Are women positioned to lead? Because I also have that argument. I hear people divided as to what indeed should women start doing. Should we expect that certain positions are carved for women? Would that help them come out of their shell? Or we should just give them the enabling environment to fight neck to neck with the male folks? What exactly do we want so that we can easily attain?
Okay, thank you very much. I think an enabling environment would do. I don't believe that women should get into positions simply by virtue of the fact that they are women. If you do not qualify for the position, you shouldn't be given that position just because you're a woman. So if you know that you want to vie for a particular leadership position, get the necessary training that you need to network strategically and get all the information and the awareness that you need to be able to grow into that position. And you don't become a leader suddenly. It's something that you build over time, you develop over time, and by the time you are ripe for the leadership, nobody is going to deny you. And I don't like using the term let them allow women. I don't like using that term, because I believe that if I am determined to get into a particular position, nothing and no one will stop me. I will develop the right relationships that I will need. I will develop the right information that I need. I will develop the right network that I need in order to be able to prepare for that position. So being a woman is not just enough, you know.
Right.
You should be able to get the right qualifications to be able to go for the positions that you need. And even if you got into a position and you didn't have the necessary what it takes, I believe you learn on the job, and the more you practice, the better you get. So I believe that women can be anything they want to be if they prepare strategically, because if you have the right strategy, you can surmount any challenge. Yeah.
Would you say, Dr. King, that the woman of today, the girl child of today, has positioned to be resilient, to push forward should any challenge come, or we are entitled to say, you know what, there's no inclusivity, just give us this space just because we are women, just so that we fill up that inclusive space?
You know, Rome is not built in a day, but the good part of it is that women are now taking up space. The story is changing, and I tell people malfunction when they don't know who they are. That's why our women, they don't know the power they have. Why do you think they are always at the forefront when it comes to politics? How many men do you see out there for rally? The women are the pillar of politics, but they don't know what they carry. And the problem we have is that, you know, when we say the word women supporting women,
we'll get
women, okay. You understand? But you know, on that question you have, the late Ubonkin said something. Decision makes men. Decision does not just make men, it makes women also. And this is the time.
I'm sure when he said makes men, he meant both.
Yeah,
yes. And this is the time I tell people, don't wait for things to happen to things. And nothing starts, you start it. This is not the time we should be waiting for a red-made space. Go out there. I tell you, there's something the women need to unlock. There's a lot of opportunity. They have all it takes. And I am applauding to every woman out there. This is the right time. This is the time. Thank God we have a lot of, you know, things are changing. But it is not. It shouldn't be limited to ministers alone. It should be limited. I'm expecting the female governor. I'm expecting female president. This is doable. It's possible. But when it comes to administration, women are the best. So I think they will do more far better in that space.
Okay, so he just inadvertently mentioned your husband's name, and I know he passed away a couple of years back, and that must have been a difficult time for you.
It was
so
horrible.
How did you navigate having children who are mourning? You are mourning, of course. The business, everything happened abruptly.
Yeah, you know, there's something that I put up on my status on WhatsApp a few days ago. I said that the toughest part of leadership is having to lead people when you are shattered on the inside.
Right.
And that's where I found myself when my husband passed unexpectedly in 2020. You know, even when you're expecting tragedy, you know, oh, this person is seriously sick and may not make it, it's still tough. Toughness of a situation where it happens suddenly, because it hits from the blind side totally. And for me, one of the things that really helped me in that season was the support system that I had around me at that time. And I remember my pastor saying something to me that there are so many decisions to be taken. You can't afford your mind to be clouded. You need clarity. And he prayed for me, and I ran on the wings of that prayer. And I had to push the grief, so to speak. Yes, I was broken on the inside. I was traumatized and everything, but I had to give myself a strong reason to go on. First of all, I looked at my 4 children, and I said, if I give up at this point, these children are going to be lost. Then I looked at the business we have built, because initially when we started the business, it was all about our family, that we wanted a business where we could be able to take care of our children and all. But with time, it expanded beyond our family. And we raised an army of people, families that were connected to the business. And in that season, the easiest thing would have been to give up. I would have used my grief as an excuse to stay in the background, and I would have watched the business crumble, because a lot of things were happening, a lot, both in the extended family space and both in the business space. But I needed to give myself these strong reasons to go on. I told myself, I even got advice that I should shut the business down, sell off all the assets, take my children and jackpot.
Wow.
like this. And I said, what will I want to go and do abroad? And I told myself that if I give up at this point, I'm not only failing God, I'm failing my husband's memory, and I'm failing the hundreds of families attached to the business. So I said no, I wasn't going to give up that easily. And in the face of impossible circumstances, because so many things happened that I can't even say in this space, I had to stand and deal with the challenges. And one of the things that I did was that I sought mentorship. I spoke to consultants, I spoke to coaches and mentors who know better than me, and I told them, these are the challenges that I'm seeing. I'm stepping into this business fully. It's a male-dominated terrain, and these and these are the things that I've observed. How do I handle this? And I have had people, by the grace of God, who have literally held my hands through the grief, through the pain. And at a point where I was thinking that there's no way the business was going to survive, I could see it nosediving. God just used the people around me, the support structures, the things that I had to learn to ensure that that business came back on stable. So it's been an interesting learning curve, and I think one of the toughest things to do is living in crisis, because here I was grieving and mourning the death of my beloved husband, who was also my friend and partner in every sense. And then I had a team of people who also looked up to him a lot. He was, in fact, it's when he passed that I realized the extent of the impact he had made. And I was even wondering at some point, I said, really, did I really know this man I was living with? Because I also had to lead a group of people who were also grieving and mourning the passing of a leader that they all loved and respected. Everybody at work had a positive story of their encounter with him, you know. So stepping into all of that was a whole lot of challenge. But those were the steps I took, the support systems that I got, going out to seek mentorship, and just refusing to give up. I had to build resilience inside of me to be able to face it. And I'm unapologetically a Christian. And one of the things that also helped me was the Word of God, because I just kept reading the Bible. I kept listening to the audio Bible. I didn't know that as I was doing it, it was building strength on the inside. And I didn't know until the challenges began to hit. If God hadn't prepared me the way He did, by the time those challenges hit me, I would have gone under totally. But God saw ahead. Of course, He sees the end from the beginning, and prepared me, and I was able to stand and deal with the challenge and deal with forces that thought they were so strong, you know. I had to do that. And by the grace of God, yes, we are not where we are supposed to be, but we are not where we were when came past.
Exactly. Oh, but let's talk about support systems. A lot of women have also gone through what you have gone through, and unfortunately it breaks them, and within months and years you see that the family that was heading a certain way, all of a sudden everything changes. So how can we build support system in the society to be more empathetic towards the woman in times like that? Because like you said, there are several things you would not want to say here, but a lot of us listening can only imagine what you have indeed gone through.
Okay, before I proceed, you know, if you can see, the tempo went down because I'm so emotional at this time, because I am a product of Ubon King, the late Ubon King. I'm a product, you understand, because he really fired a lot. He built men, he built army. And one of the things I learned from him, he told you that don't wait for things to start things. Nothing happened to you, happen to things. And you know, when you follow determines what follow you. And I learned how to follow right from him. And he said something. He said it's not about your location, it's about your thinkation. So that was what changed my mindset. So it has nothing to be with where I am, but what is inside of me. And there's something I called revolution of mindset shifts, which is really helping my program this day. This is the man that taught me the power of marketing, how to network, how when you see your clients, how you can be their love that they want to. They will, when they sleep, they think about you. This is the man that fired it. He taught me love crapology. He taught us there are people you need to live out of the way so that you can get to where you are going. And he told us that inside the problem, that's where your solution for you to, he said, no, you need to enter problem to get out of problem. So there's a lot. So, you know, I'm a product of Upon King. That's why I tell people, so it's a privilege to be with Mrs. King today, and my name is Kings as well, so you can see the connection. So, and that's what I tell people. You know, we used to do an outreach. Holy Kings Impact Foundation will reach out to widows every 2 weeks, and the last one we did recently, I told the widows, I said, say widow is you are the man, you are also the woman. And I tell them, when they say widow, don't limit yourself with that word widow. Don't say because I don't have a husband, till life should stop. Look at the story she just shared. You understand? You know what it means to lose someone, and you can still. I'm so very happy anytime I see her. The way she's moving the train, and that's what they call leadership. Right. And that's what we should be teaching ourselves. That's what is lacking. If she can manage things, you know what? This is 4 years now. So yeah, I'm telling you, we need a female president.
We do.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If you can navigate it all and manage it, and
you understand? So because it's not easy. You know what you go through in that space. A lot of people want to take advantage. A lot of things that But thank God for. But I think this is the time, and I think we should not limit our mind.
Right.
Don't tell yourself this is the reason why my life does not make sense. You have no reason. Because I tell people everything can work against you, but never work against yourself.
Okay.
You have that power.
I think that's a good place to go for a short break right now. Emotions are high. We are reminiscing on painful memories, but one that has taught us to move on. But we would be back to discuss more. Would also explore how women can support women. Is that saying even true? We'll be right back. Still discussing the women issues and how women can attain the highest of leadership positions and break that barrier. Well, we've been having this conversation with really important people around the women leadership sector. We've had Ambassador Dr. Unyime-Ivy King. She's a women leadership coach, and so much more. We've also had a regular right here, Dr. Kings Oshifade-Kayode, who is the founder and convener of Holy Kings Impact Foundation. Again, I thank you for staying with us. We had taken the conversation to discussing some of the barriers that women face, but let me bring the question I had asked him earlier. Okay. How do we improve the support system for women, especially when they are going through difficulties in life, like you faced, having gone through your experiences and your reality? What do you think the public should do to improve the support system for women?
Okay, thank you very much. I think first of all, is also a matter of awareness. A lot of people, you stay in your cocoon, you don't know what is going on until life hits you. Exactly. And then you realize that you need the help. So when somebody has walked a certain path, you can develop the empathy that you need. And I always take it back to the family, because I'm an advocate of family. The way we socialize our children to support each other is what will show up in the society. Because for instance, in my case, when I was dealing with a very tough situation, facing the loss of a dear husband, it was my immediate family that stood up to support me. And it's not something that is how we've been raised from time. We are there for each other. If the other person is in pain, you are in pain. And it cascades to our friends. If you have friends who are experiencing one challenge or the other, you are there to support them. In fact, one time one of my friends said, you people, you do too much for your friends, because that's how we've been raised. So I believe that that support comes when somebody has empathy. You can empathize with what the other person is going through. Even if it doesn't happen to you, the mere fact that another human being is facing a particular challenge is enough. And then I believe that they should also be advocates in this space. who are advocating for these things. I do a lot of writing on social media based on the experiences that I've gone through, and sometimes you may be doing those things, you don't know the impact you're making until you get into a certain space and people walk up to you, thank you. I've received all those, both inbox messages and all. So it's very important. I believe that when you show up authentically, you also attract authentic people to yourself.
I agree.
And you will get the right support that you need. But we live in a society where we believe in a lot of show and fake life, and you're not really opening up as you are to the other person. You make people believe that you're what you're not. So it's important to show up authentically. You get the support that you need. Yes.
Okay, so do you think we are winning this battle against religious biases, cultural biases that often hold women back?
Yeah, I think it's everything will start from the mind, and we need to start working on our mindset. So I think religion has nothing to do that a woman should not hold a space. And the major problem of this is just, you know, the word you said. Are we there already, women supporting women?
We are yet to get there, but go ahead.
So, but I think what we should be doing at this time is that it has nothing to do about I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian. No. For example, when you go to the hospital and a doctor is asked to treat you, will you ask, are you a Christian or are you a Muslim? Or you understand?
Often that's now left. That's no longer important. You want to know
That's
the
it.
pedigree. What have you studied? Are you capable?
That's what we should be doing. It has nothing to do. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Christian. You know, we should just face the known reality of life. You know, and I tell people, making impact is superior to making income. You know, this is the time we need to impart our word, because if you don't make sense on time, you will die so soon. So you have to, everything that works, it has to count. There's no time to waste away. And I'm sorry that I'm a bit, you know, I'm a wounded lion. And I just want to impart my word.
Right, please go ahead. Yeah. Please go ahead. But when you look at young ladies today, young girls, groomed from certain would I say age group? I don't want to say Gen Z, mothers. But when you look at those categories of young girls, young children, the girl child growing up, does it excite you that you're seeing young leaders who would come chart a course and become leaders? Or does it scare you that morals have changed a bit and it doesn't look like they are going towards the direction that will lead them to value for society, or rather value to society?
Well, the truth is that there's a lot of moral decadence in the society. But one thing that I always say is this: the fact that somebody went to bed and did not wake up, for instance, does it stop you from sleeping?
Of course not.
The fact that there are some young people who are morally decadent, does it mean that all of them are like that? One thing that I know is that bad news sells.
True.
And that's what is populated out there more, and the positive examples are kind of downplayed. So the fact that we have all these negative stories of young people, which makes it look as if, oh, these people do not know what they are doing, doesn't mean that there are no young persons that are doing the right thing and stepping into the space and leading. There are so many of them. I don't want to mention names. There are so many of them doing the right thing, you know. And it's all about, like I said, it's all about orientation. It's all about the things that they've been exposed to. It's also all about upbringing. So I don't have fears. I believe that in the end, the right thing will prevail.
What would your what would your response?
I love that question. I think the problem we have this time is that we are not even the generation we had today. Let's talk about the Gen Z. We are not even raising leaders. You know, leaders is even far. We are not raising normal human being. I'm sorry to use that. But let's be sincere to each other. And I think that has to do with the parenting. You know, there's some things that I remember. I lost my parents some years ago, but there's some things they put in my mind that there's something I can never do.
Yeah.
That it can never come across me. Anytime you want to bring it, I remember the day my dad told me, if you do this, this is how you end. That's it. But the problem we have today, the parents, they don't have time to train children. And we're just giving birth to a lot of...
yes, not all.
Yes, I'm still coming to that. Yes, I'm still coming to that. The problem is that some parents, they are training rich fools. They are not giving their children their wisdom. AI is training children for us. Social media is training children for us. We don't have time. We want to make money. And we've forgotten that when we make those money, our children are those things that will give you that peace of mind. And I applaud, we need to start raising the right children, normal human being. Not to talk of leaders of tomorrow.
That's another relative concept that I don't know if we can finish discussing what it means by normal human being.
When you go online, you see a lot of things. Let's be sincere to each other. When you go online, sometimes I wept when I see things. When you are even trying to raise your own children, when they go out there, that's why every day we need to speak into their life. I call my children every day, my son, see this. This is how you will end if you do this, because it's crazy when you are trying to do it right. Some people are pouring water. It's because the society, the pressure. You see a 12-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, they are too wild. What I don't know, they know. They are too wild. So these are the things. It has to do with the parenting. This is why mothers, fathers, we shouldn't just give birth to children because we have the resources. It's beyond resources. Do you have the time? Do you have the capacity? And what you don't have, you can't give. Many parents don't even have it. How will they able to give it? So we need to talk to ourselves, because the way things are going now, I'm afraid. I pray we don't lose it.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's get to that conversation of whether or not women do support women, and what is the kind of support that women should always, especially those who have broken the glass ceiling and have attained certain positions, what is the kind of support they need to hand down?
Okay. Well, I'm not of that school of thought that women do not support women, because that hasn't been my experience. I say it because it also depends on the kind of women that you have around you. If you gather funny people around you, you're going to get funny results. Because for instance, when my husband passed, it was a woman friend, an older friend and mentor, who, when I called her, I told her, see what I'm experiencing. And that woman, not only, after crying on the phone with me, she now told me, look, can I send so and so person from my organization to yours to be able to help you sort out one or two things? So I've had the support of incredible women, and I also believe that when you gather the right people around you, you get the right support. So I believe that women do support women. It's only when you get into a circle of women where you're all competing, you want to prove who has more designer handbags than the other. When you get into those funny circles where you have to prove yourself like that,
naturally,
of course, when they see that your own designer bag is bigger than their own, it's going to instigate jealousy. But when you have a circle of women who genuinely appreciate you, who genuinely want to see you grow, they will pull you up to that level. And mentorship is very important, coaching very important. So I believe that younger women should intentionally, and do not just see anybody in the space and say, oh, this is my coach. You need to take time, study the character of the person, study the values of the person, because like Ubon King used to say, if your mentor is a thief, very soon you'll be stealing. So it's important that you identify the women in the space. Yes, you're intentional about the women you surround yourself with. And when you surround yourself with those kind of women, you get the help you need. Like I have a lot of phenomenal women, even in my business. And I said something to them. I said that we cannot have women in the business and then the business crumbles. Right. It's not possible, because women are incubators, women are builders. So we need to intentionally surround ourselves with the right mentors, with the right coaches, and we'll get the desired support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me pose this question to you as well.
Thank you very much. I'm going to answer that question in two ways.
Right. It's always not a direct one with you. So
yes. She said something which I'm very happy. She talks about mentorship. How many women are seeking for mentors? Thank God it's changing now. Women are now understanding the power of mentorship. I tell women, replace friends with mentor. You understand? Replace friends with coach, with trainers. A lot of women, they don't have who mentors them. That's why they find themselves in a competitive space. They want to compete with each other. You know, when you follow determines what follow you. What you look at determines what you look like. Who are you following? Your surrounding determines your survivor. She was able to survive that space because she surrounded herself with the people that can strong pose, that can help her. That's why she's a better person. A lot of people pass through where she passed through, but they are nowhere. They are shadow of themselves because of people that mentors them. I tell you, it takes a lion heart to have a lion share. Who are those people? So in two ways, which I spoke about, I've talked about the mentorship. When you have the right mentors, women supporting women works. But when you have the opposite, friends, a lot of people follow the wrong friends and they see it in a competitive way. They want to compete with each other. They have the next week we have this party. You know, I have a lot of female friends. I found myself in women world. You know, it's funny when you see women laughing with each other and they'll say, hey, don't you see the shoe? No, it's a fake. You don't understand. So, you know, it's either in two ways. Women supporting women. Is it working in the right space? Many women support women when you are mourning. They love to support each other. When you are crying, they will like, yes, I'm speaking from experience. They say, yeah, women supporting women. Well, I'm a feminist, this, that. But when you want to attain a bigger level, they don't support each other. Because if women support women, we have someone that contested for a female president, and she had just one vote, and I'm sure that one vote is just herself. So does that work?
But does it also mean that women would support anything just because you're a woman? Where does accountability, where does integrity come in? Because I've had instances where you say, why don't you support this person because she's a woman? And those responses, I kind of resonate with it, where they say it has nothing to do with a woman, but she does not have the kind of the competence that I expect.
Yes, the accountability is very important. Integrity is very important. But we have some women that are doing well. They have the integrity. But women, you ask them, why are you not supporting this person? You say, I don't just know. Maybe because she's a woman. Or maybe, you know, this.
We often rather have that from the men, actually.
That's the fact. See, we men, we are very smart. But we still support men.
This
That's it. So I think
this should be intentional.
Yeah, they should be intentional. They should see it beyond just rivalry. They should see it beyond just jealousy. They should see it. They should not just support women when you are dying or when you are crying. Let them support women to attain a better state as well. Very important. That's one thing I want the women to add.
Okay, we're really running out of time. So what is your suggestion or final thoughts on the matter of women leadership? Young women who are listening to you right now, what would your advice be as a life coach?
Okay, what I would say, especially to women who have found themselves in positions where they could be mentors to the younger generation, if you make yourself unreasonably inaccessible, you rob the present generation of the benefits of what others have poured into your life, because nobody gets to a position without the input of so many other people making you into who you are. So if you have that opportunity, be accessible. Let the younger people be able to reach you. For instance, I'm very approachable on social media because I tell myself that once a young woman steps into my DM, I see my daughter and I tell myself, if I mislead her intentionally or unintentionally, I wouldn't want that same thing to happen to my daughter. If for any reason my daughter cannot talk to me and she reaches out to an older woman she admires, I would want that woman to use that opportunity to guide her in the right direction. And also for young women, there's a scripture that I love to quote all the time, that do not let anybody despise you because you're young. The fact that you're young does not mean you should be foolish. There are so many young leaders, even in scriptures, who attain leadership at a young age, and they're able to perform well. So as a young woman in the space who you want to see yourself at a certain height tomorrow, you need to be intentional about your growth. You need to be intentional about the things you expose your mind to, because everything begins in the mind.
True.
If you are losing in your mind, you've lost already.
Right.
So it's important, be intentional, network strategically, seek out coaches and mentors in the space, because whatever you want to be, somebody has already attained that and can guide you through to it.
Okay, so what's your concluding thoughts on this
Okay,
issue?
yes, I tell people it's important we know that you know, making meaning is superior to making noise, and we should also know that making positive news is superior to making noise. This is not the time we should start ranting on social media. You know, this is the time we should go out, get out of our shell. Let your life count. You can be there. That thing you want to become, you can become it without standing on anyone's toes, without, you know, the problem we have that our youth or our ladies, they don't want to grow, they want to blow. And they fail to know that it's better to grow than to blow.
Right.
When you blow, it's just like blum blum.
It will burst,
Yeah.
right?
But when you grow, you grow.
cannot.
You understand? It's important we know that in life is in phase. We should learn not just the we want to get the product. Process is very important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
We
Thank
really
you.
have run out of time. Dr. Kings Oshifade Kayode, thank you so much for that.
Thank you very
If there's
much.
anything I have learned today, instead of trying to blow, please grow. Thank you. Thank you also, Ambassador Dr. Unyime-Ivy King. It was
Thank you.
wonderful hearing your story and your perception
Thank you.
of what women should do to grow. This is where we would end today's edition of Joyous on Your Live. Rest assured, we'll be back tomorrow with so much more. But for now, have a restful evening.